Hello friends, welcome to my channel Frontend IQ. I received so many requests on a LinkedIn to share my interview experience. So finally the wait is over and finally I will share my interview experience with all of you. So let's start. So in a today's video, I will share my front-end interview experience. I am a front-end developer with 1.7 years of experience. So if you are preparing for your front-end interview, then this video helps a lot. So let's start. So topic cover in this video. So basically we will discuss the interview process, JavaScript and React important topics, HR questions and a self introduction. Basically the first question that interviewer asks you is regarding your self introduction and so many candidates give their introduction in a wrong way and due to this the they can impact a wrong in an interviewer's mind. So in this video, I will give you one template, a basic template, so you can prepare your self introduction like this. So let's start with the interview process. So basically, I give interview in so many companies, and here I can write the interview process on on a common way. Okay. So basically, the first round is a JavaScript machine coding round. So if you are preparing for the front-end interview or a Node.js interview, the JavaScript is the common technology and it is the basic, that means the core technology. So you must have a knowledge of the JavaScript. So basically, the first round is a JavaScript. And if you are preparing for the React interview. Then the second round is the React coding round, and basically it's about 2 to 3 hours. The third round is a technical interview. In a technical interview, it is a face-to-face interviews, and fourth is the HR round. In some companies, they can combine the JavaScript and React coding round in a one, but in a big companies, the first round is the JavaScript coding round, and the second round is the React coding round. So let's discuss about the JavaScript overview. So if you are preparing for the React or Node.js, then JavaScript is the common technology. So in a JavaScript coding round, you have to prepare like core concept plus problem solving. In a core concept, you must have a knowledge of pre-increment, pre-decrement, functions, parameters, arguments, what is the higher order function, what is the callback function, how many different types of variables are there, a difference between the arrow functions, normal functions. This is the common questions which has been asked in a core concept. Okay. The second one is the output based question. So in an output based, I will discuss in depth in a few minutes. Okay. So third one is the real coding scenarios. Okay. So first is the JavaScript basics. So in this, first is the increment and decrement operator. So basically, increment and decrement operators have been asked in all of the companies. Okay, so this is the very important topic. So you must prepare increment and decrement operators. And if you want a video on this topic, then I already made a video on this topic in my YouTube channels. So you can also find the video on there. The second question is the recursion. Okay. So they don't ask that using the recursion find the factorials or something. But in a recursion, they mostly ask regarding array of object question. Okay. So they give one array in this array, there are so many objects, and based on this you can apply the recursions and find the output and all that. The third one is the array methods. Array method is the very important topics in a JavaScript. Okay, so here I mentioned some of array methods, and in every interview I mostly use these methods. Okay, so first one is the map. So basically the map is used to transform the data. Second one is the for each. If you want to iterate through the element, then you can use for each. And in a one interview, the interviewer asked me, what is the difference between for loop and for each? So you also prepare this type of question, okay? Third one is the filter. So if you can filter data based on the conditions, then you can use the filters method, reduce methods. Basically, the reduce method is used when you want to the output in a single value. Okay. Sum and every methods. If you want to perform some Boolean types of operations, then you can use these methods. And also they can give the questions like what is the difference between any two methods. Okay. Then why you can use map instead of the for each. Then what is the return value of map? What is the return value of for each? What is the difference between null and undefined? So this is the basic question. Okay. So the fourth one is the closures. So in a face-to-face round, okay, so technical interview round, they ask the question like what is the closures, how it can be useful, do you perform any operations in which you need a closures and all that. The fifth topic is the scope and scope chain. They not directly ask that what is the scope and scope chain, but interviewer give you one questions like create a variables and and all that. One variables is outside of the curly braces, one is inside the curly braces. Then they can ask you what is the output of these questions. If we use the let instead of the where, then what is the difference and all that. And sixth question, it's asked in all of the company. Okay, so they told me like JavaScript is a single threaded language. Okay, then how it can perform the async operation. So this question is asked in every company. The seventh one is the event loop. Event loop is also the most important topic in a JavaScript. The eighth question is the promises and async await. What is the difference between these? When we can use the promises, when we can use the async await. If we can use the await, then what is the output? So what is the return value of the fetch? Basically, fetch is a browser API. Okay. So what is the return value of this? How many type of promises are there? This is the basic question of on this topic. Ninth one is the ES6 features. Okay. So what is the spread operator? What is the rest operator? What is the difference between spread and rest? What is the destructuring? This is the ES6 features. So you also have the knowledge of all the ES6 features set. Okay. Then now, okay. Now also discuss regarding some of the JavaScript questions like the one of the company asked me that list out the 10 array methods and 10 string methods. So you also have a knowledge of this. Okay. But then they also ask me regarding the what is the local storage, session storage cookies, and when we can store our API, when API key. Then, uh, then also they can ask me like what is the difference between normal function and arrow functions. This is the common question in a JavaScript. So let's move regarding the React topics. So in a React, the first question is the virtual DOM and real DOM. Okay, so here I list out the five questions, and this question asked me in every company. Okay, so virtual DOM and real DOM is one of the very important question. The second one is the props and states. What is the difference between props when the props value is changed? Then component is render or not, so this is the common question. Okay. The third one is the hooks. Basic. They mostly ask the use state and use effect. Okay. This is the common hook, and this is the basic hook. You can use this hook every day. In a use effect, they also ask me what is the life cycle of the React component. What is the component did mount, component did update, component did unmount, what is the difference between class component and function component? This is the question. in hooks topic. Okay. Then fourth one is the use memo versus use callback. This is the very important question. Okay. You must prepare this question. The fifth one is the performance. So interviewer asks you like how you can improve the performance of your React application. What is the lazy loading? And all this. Okay. Then regarding of okay. So this is the basic topic. You must prepare this topic. Okay. And outside of this, you have a knowledge of the card functionality. Like in a React applications, how you can perform the card functionalities. What is the add to card, remove to card, how you can perform this using the context API, how you can perform this using the Redux toolkit, what is the Redux toolkit and Redux toolkit query, what is a tensor query and React query, what is the vibe coding. So this is the basic question in a React. Okay, now moving towards the common HR questions. So first question is why do you want to switch? So if you are switch, why do you want to switch? Okay. The second question is why should we hire you? What is the reasons? Like there are so many candidates. So why should we hire only you? Third question is what is the difficult task you handle? And based on your answers, they also ask you so many questions on this. Okay. The fourth one is the team collaboration. That means if you are not able to solve any task, then how you will tell your seniors and all this. Fifth one is the task distribution. So in a task distributions, like they told me, like if you have so many tasks and your calling is free, then how you told them like can you please help me? I have a lots of tasks on something. So this is the common interview questions which asked me in my interviews. Okay. So the next topic is the self introduction. This is the first question. Like if you give any interviews, then the first question is the self introduction. Can you please introduce yourself? So based on this, the interviewer's mindset is set. Okay. So they can like हाँ वो इंटरव्यूअर बेस्ड ऑन दिस क्वेश्चंस उनके माइंड में एक पूरी प्रोटोटाइप बन जाती है कि मुझे इस कैंडिडेट को किस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन पूछना है ओके सो सेल्फ इंट्रोडक्शन इज द like best key that to perform the good in behalf of the interviewer. Okay, so here I can also mention one prototype of the self introduction. Okay, so you can tell that hey, my name is Ria. I am a front end developer with 2 years of experience. I have a work with technologies like JavaScript, React, HTML, CSS, and you can also add others technologies like Node.js, Tailwind, CSS, MUI, and all that. In my previous company, I work on here. You can mention your project's name. Like you can say that in a previous company, I work on two projects. The first project is this one, and the second project is this one. And in this project, my main goal is this, or you can say that my responsibility is this. Okay, one of my key achievement was here. You can also mention your key achievements. Here I can also give some examples, like you can say that improve performance by 30%, reduce load time, delivered features before deadline. Here you can also mention this type of word. Then you can say that I enjoy solving real world problems and building the scalable applications, user friendly applications. That's the quick introduction about me. So here you can also modify your way. Okay. So I just send you one prototype. Okay. Okay, so if you want a real JavaScript machine coding questions, so you can also find in my YouTube channel. So in my YouTube channel, I created one playlist And in
Hello
this
friends,
playlist,
welcome to my
sorry,
YouTube.
in this playlist, I solved every type of questions. Okay, so you can also prepare the JavaScript question from here. Okay. Then, okay, so if you want a link, then I will share the link in my description box. Okay. So this is my interview experience. So if you are preparing for the interviews, then let's crack the interview together. So if you like my video, then please like, share, and subscribe it. And you can also comment down like, Didi, please make a video on any particular topic. So I will try my best to make a video on that topic. Thank you.